Hey, welcome to Strides in Love. I'm genuinely happy that you are here. I'm so excited. I've been waiting to have this conversation for so long. Really quick, before we jump into it, I want everybody to know this is not that podcast. Like the one where everything sounds super formal and you need a medical degree just to follow along. This is not that. This is more like you called me and I'm just giving you all of the information without you having to do all of the research. Or you just sent me a quick text and you wanted to know all the things about PCOS. I'm sending you a 15-minute voice note after. This is what that is. Just think of this as a voice note. This is no jargon, no lecture, just us girls talking. And today, we're starting off with something that I feel so many women have heard of, but don't actually understand, myself included. Honestly, until I really dug into it. We're talking about PCOS, aka polycystic ovary syndrome. Maybe your doctor threw that word at you or just handed you a pamphlet and some birth control and sent you along your way. Maybe you've been seeing it all over your For You page, or you're like, okay, what is it actually? Maybe your period's been all over the place and something just feels off and you're really trying to figure out why. Whatever brought you here, I got you. We're starting from the very beginning. We're keeping it simple, keeping it real. Let's get into it. Here's a statistic that literally stopped me in my tracks when I first heard it. 1 in 10 women have PCOS. That's about 200 million women globally. And most of them find out by accident. Maybe they went to the doctor for something completely unrelated. Maybe they were trying to get pregnant and hitting walls. Maybe they'd spent years being told, oh, irregular periods are normal, don't worry about it, and finally pushed for more information. That's the reality for so many women. They spend months, sometimes years, feeling like something's off, tired all of the time, skin's acting crazy, weight shifting for no obvious reason. And they're either dismissed or misdiagnosed. So if you've ever feel like your body is doing something it shouldn't and nobody has been able to explain why, you're in the right place. Let's start from the beginning. We're going to be breaking down PCOS. Now, the name kind of sounds intimidating. Polycystic ovary syndrome. I know, it sounds like something serious and completely scary. But we're going to break it down word by word because once you know, it gets a lot less scary. Okay, poly, it means many. Cystic refers to small fluid-filled sacs. Ovary, okay, wait, let's actually talk about ovary for a second. Your ovaries are 2 small almond-shaped organs sitting on either side of your uterus. So basically, it's in your lower belly area. They have 2 main jobs: releasing eggs every month and producing hormones like estrogen and progesterone. Think of them like your body's hormone headquarters. So when we say polycystic ovary syndrome, we're talking about many small fluid-filled sacs showing up at the headquarters, along with a bunch of other symptoms. That's it. But here's where things get a little confusing, and honestly, a little unfair, to say the least. You don't even need to have cysts to have PCOS. I know. I was literally shocked when I heard that too. The name cysts right in it, and you might not just have them. Some women do, some women don't. The real issue isn't the cysts, it's the hormonal balance underneath everything. Now, I'm going to throw a quick analogy at you guys. I'm an analogy girly. I will literally give you an analogy for an analogy. Think of your body like a group chat, okay? Your hormones are members in a group chat. Normally, everyone's communicating, things are all balanced. Now, with PCOS, one member, androgen, starts sending way too many messages that's disrupting the whole entire flow of the group chats. The androgens are spamming. And that's what PCOS feels like in your body. So we just mentioned androgens. Now let's talk about that for a second, because this is really the heart of understanding PCOS. Hormones are basically your body's messengers. They travel through your blood and tell your organs and systems what to do and when to do it. Your sleep, mood, metabolism, reproduction, hormones are quite literally managing all of it in the background. Now, most people think of androgens like testosterone as male hormones, but the truth is everyone has androgens. Men, women, everybody. The difference is just the amount. In women, androgens are produced in small amounts by the ovaries and the adrenal glands. In the right amounts, they're actually helpful. They support sex drive, energy, mood, and bone strength. The problem in PCOS is that the ovaries start producing too many androgens, and that excess throws everything off balance. Think of your hormones like ingredients in a recipe. A pinch of salt will make your dish taste better. But if you accidentally pour, maybe a whole box of it, it literally ruins everything. Even if all the ingredients are perfect, too much salt is too much salt. That's what excess androgens do in PCOS. What does this feel like? This is the part where women have their own, oh my gosh, that's me moment. So let's go through PCOS and what that actually looks like and feels like on a day-to-day. Here are some common symptoms. Irregular or missed periods. They show up every 2 to 3 months, or maybe not at all. Stubborn hormonal acne, especially along the jawline, chin, and neck. Your hair is thinning on your scalp, but you have extra hair growing on your face or body. That is called hirsutism. Weight gain around the belly, even when you're eating well and exercising. This one is literally me. Fatigue and brain fog, the kind a good night's sleep doesn't fix. So girl, you being tired and can't remembering things, it's a symptom of PCOS. Mood swings and anxiety, that is a connection that doesn't get talked about enough either. I'm taking a sigh because before I did the research, I did not know these things. I always thought something was wrong with me. I always thought I needed to go to the doctor because why am I forgetting things? Why am I always so sleepy? I'm so anxious, and there's really nothing around me to make me anxious or for me to be as tired as I am sometimes, but they're all just symptoms of PCOS. Now, something important to note is you do not have to have all of these symptoms to have PCOS. You can have a couple, you can have all of them. It doesn't matter. The condition looks different on everybody. And this is something a lot of women with PCOS, they don't know. There are actually different types of PCOS. Doctors call them phenotypes, which means versions or patterns. Now, I've broken them down into 4 different types. So you have type A, or the classic version of PCOS. There are high androgens, irregular periods, polycystic ovaries. This is the most common. These have the most noticeable symptoms. This is the one I feel like the go-to diagnosis of the type of PCOS you have because of the high androgens, irregular periods, polycystic ovaries. You have type B, where it's just high androgens, irregular periods, but your ovaries look completely normal on a scan. This is still PCOS. Now, you have this sneaky one, that's type C. High androgens, polycystic ovaries, but your periods are irregular. This one often goes undiagnosed for years because a lot of doctors believe because you have those regular periods, it may not be PCOS and it may be something else. But we always have to pay attention to those high androgens and those polycystic ovaries. Now, type D, this is kind of the mildest one. This is where you have irregular periods, polycystic ovaries, but there's no elevated androgens. This one's kind of debatable. Now, your PCOS might look completely different from your friend's PCOS, and that's okay. It's normal. There is no single PCOS experience. What actually causes PCOS? Let's talk about it. Doctors don't have a clean answer. There's no definitive one. But here's what research points to. Genetics. PCOS runs in families. So If you're able to, I would definitely talk to your parents and see what's going on a woman's side, and your dad's mom, your mom's mom, aunts, so on and so forth. Because a lot of times the older generation may have had PCOS and they didn't even know. Another cause of PCOS is insulin resistance. This is the most common driver. So you then have chronic inflammation, which is just low-level inflammation that triggers androgen production. Stress is a big one. It affects the adrenal glands, which can produce more androgens. So think of insulin like a key that unlocks your cell to let sugar in. In insulin resistance, the lock is broken. Your body keeps making more keys, and all of those extra keys overstimulate the ovaries. The key point to all of this is PCOS is not your fault. It's not caused by something you ate or something you failed to do. Thin women get PCOS, active women get PCOS. It's a medical condition with complex biological roots. That's it. Can PCOS be treated? Yes, it absolutely can be. But there's no single cure that works for everyone. Treatment is about management, and it depends on your symptoms and goals. You can have options that include lifestyle changes. So that's nutrition, movement, sleep, and stress management. You can take medication. So that would include birth control pills, metformin, adrenal blocking treatments, and sometimes it's a combination of everything. A PCOS diagnosis is not a life sentence. Millions of women manage their symptoms incredibly well and live full, healthy, happy lives. Getting the diagnosis is just the beginning to getting answers, not the beginning of a downward spiral. Now, you may want to know when you should see a doctor. If there's anything we've talked about today that's resonated with you, please go see a doctor. Here's when to go sooner rather than later. Your periods are consistently irregular, very heavy, or sometimes absent. You have unusual growth on your face, body. You have unusual hair growth on your face or body, or you're noticing your hair is thinning. You have stubborn hormonal acne that skincare alone doesn't fix. You have been trying to conceive for a while without success, or you just have a gut feeling that something is off. A woman's intuition never lies, so trust your gut. If you feel dismissed by a doctor, get a second opinion. You deserve answers. And I just want everyone to know it's okay to advocate for yourself. Sometimes you may go to a doctor and they may not think you have PCOS, but if you feel like you have symptoms and you're not getting the answers you want from that doctor, go get a second opinion. Use your free will. All right, so that's a wrap on Voice Note 1, aka Episode 1 of Strides in Love. I know we've covered a lot, but I hope it feels less like a medical lecture and more like a conversation with a friend who's done the research so you don't have to. Here's what I want you to walk away with today. PCOS is common. It's manageable, and you're absolutely not alone in this. Understanding what's happening in your body is the most powerful thing you can do. And you just took the first step by showing up today. So hats off to you. Give yourself a round of applause. I am so proud of you. Now, in the next episode, we're going to be talking about what to actually do after you've been diagnosed with PCOS. The first steps, the questions you ask your doctor, and how to stop feeling less like nothing's in your control and more like you're in control. You don't want to miss it. If this episode has helped you, share it with a woman in your life who might want to hear it. Until next time, take care of yourself. You deserve to understand your own body.